Welcome everyone to the Community Board 3 SLA committee meeting for Monday, April 14th. We did have a few withdrawals on the agenda, so if you're here for any of these items, they will not be heard tonight. They may come back again in the future, so just look at the calendar. Number 2, Ray's Swiss White International, 177 Christie Street has withdrawn. Village East by Angelica at 181 and 189 Second Avenue has withdrawn, and Dumbo at 98 Forsyth Street has withdrawn. If you're here for any of those items here or on Zoom, they will not be heard this evening. So just a few housekeeping rules before we get started. The way the meeting is going to go, I'm going to read a summary of the application. I will hand it over to the applicant or their representative for a chance to add anything that I may have missed or clarify. We'll move to any members of the public that may be here. We'll move to a committee discussion and then on to a vote. You'll have, if you are here for give you more time. If you're here from the member from the public to speak to an item, we'll give you 2 minutes. And we ask you to please be respectful, no personal attacks, whether it's on a business or a person or a group. We are going to try to keep it as civil as possible. And I think that is it. We're going to go ahead and start by a roll call and approval of last month's minutes. Ruben Ballinger. Here. Michael Lavario. Yes. Sandy Lay. Absent. Megan Joy. Absent. And Guillermo Zabiglia absent. Clint Smeltzer present. So we're going to dive right in and get started. I generally take some of the easier items first. If I think there was at least one item that is really pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and start with that. Item number 12, Van Da by Helen at 234 East 4th Street. Is anyone here in person, or you are here for that item on Zoom? Please raise your hand. All right, Helen. Okay, Helen, you've been promoted, so welcome. Okay, so I'm going to give a brief introduction of this item and then we'll hand it over to you. Do you have an attorney representative here with you tonight, Helen?
I do not.
Okay, that's no problem. Okay, so Helen and Company Catering LLC, doing business as Van Da by Helen, is seeking a full on-premises liquor license in the premises located at 234 East 4th Street. An application for an establishment of 74 people with 19 tables and 60 seats, a counter with 2 bar seats, full kitchen area serving food or an operation, television, playing background recorded music. There are 33 full on-premises licenses within 500 feet. This location has been operating as Van Da with a full liquor license since 2018. The applicant is currently licensed holder at Saigon Social on the Lower East Side. Take it, right? Stanton and Orchard.
I'm sorry?
It's on Stanton and Orchard. Saigon
Yes.
Social.
Yes, on the corner of Stanton and Orchard.
There was one 311 complaint requiring police action in this location in the last few years. We received no support or opposition to this application. I will say I spoke to a couple residents that live on this block and are part of the block association. They did. I don't know if they even answered the email, but they decided that there was no need for them to cause any issue. They have no issue with it because of your early hour, the legitimate restaurant, and there's been an existing restaurant in the same method of operation basically for 5 or 6 years. The only thing that they did mention, I don't know, just that if you are having outdoor space, that is a narrow sidewalk and a residential street to be mindful of that. So, and 8 residents who live within 2 blocks signed a petition in favor of the application. They are proposing hours of operation of closed Monday, 5 p.m., closing at 10 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, 12 p.m. opening, 5 p.m. closing by 10 p.m. Tuesday through Fridays, 12 p.m. closing at 10 p.m. on Saturdays, 12 p.m. closing at 9 p.m. on Sundays. We'll close all outdoor space allowed in the temporary, well, it's not temporary anymore, under the open restaurants program by 10 p.m. Background recorded music. No party crawl with pub crawl with party buses. And no unlimited drink specials with food. Is there anything you would like to add, Helen, to anything that I just summarized?
No, that information is correct.
Okay. Is there anyone here from the public? I don't think there's anyone here in the room. Is there anyone on Zoom? you are, please raise your Zoom hand if you'd like to speak to this item. Okay, seeing none, does anyone on the committee have any questions?
Seems like an easy one.
It's pretty simple, and as I live fairly near here, I do walk by here all the time, and. You know, the existing business hasn't been a problem, and I don't think there's been any issues with her. Restaurant on Stanton Street either. So, that being said, give me 1 second. Over the justification, not. Okay, sorry about that. So I think Helen really is pretty simple. Everything is just, you know, as the neighbors mentioned, just make sure you're following without providing. And other than that, I think everything should be fine. With that being said, we are going to go ahead and put the stipulations for your application up on the screen. And just go through those quickly so that you see what we are going to be voting on. Okay, I, Helen Wynn, representative of Helen and Company Catering LLC at 234 East 4th Street. Is applying for a full liquor license, will operate a full service Vietnamese restaurant with kitchen open and serving food during all hours. They are closed on Mondays, Tuesday through. And it is actually Tuesday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., Saturday 12 to 10 p.m. and Sunday 12 to 9. Is that correct, Helen?
That is correct. So
Okay.
Saturday should be 12 p.m. Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought. I think that, so now what you're seeing is correct. It's
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. You will close all outdoor dining allowed under the reference program by 10 p.m. You will not have any TVs or monitors outside. And then you didn't check off, I don't think, about your front. You have windows that open, right? You have a front facade that does open.
Yes, I believe that yes, they do open.
Okay, so then we're going to check off that you will close any front doors and windows at 10 p.m. or anytime there's any amplified sound or music playing.
Okay.
Okay, and then you will not have DJs, live music, third-party promoted events, any event which a cover fee is charged or scheduled performances, beyond recorded background music only. You will not apply for an alteration without coming to CB3, not participate in pub crawls or party buses, no unlimited drink specials. You didn't, I also don't think you checked off happy hours. Are you planning on having a happy hour?
No happy hour.
So no happy hours. No wait lines, staff person for ensuring no loitering, noise, or crowd. For posted stipulations, residents may contact the owner at the number below, and it's Helen Wynn at 917-994-4781.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. We are going to move to a vote. Stephen Ballinger?
Yes.
Ms. Meltzer, yes. Michael Lavario? Yes. Okay, motion passes. The office will be sending out your stipulations with instructions on getting them signed and notarized and returned back to the office.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Moving right along. Okay, I think with the easy side of all, I think we're just gonna move back to. I guess go in order, so we're gonna go with number 4, which is Kasami Incorporated at 7 St. Mark's Place. Here in person, perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and read a quick summary. Kasami Incorporated doing business as Klong, is seeking a full on-premises liquor license in the premises located at 7 St. Mark's Place. This is an application for an establishment of 74 people, 27 tables, and 54 seats. 1 bar with 10 seats, the kitchen serving high food during all operation, no TV, streaming background music. There are 14 on-premises licenses within 500 feet. This is currently a licensed location as a Thai restaurant. This is a sale of assets. The applicant has never previously been a license holder, but one of the principals has worked in a similar business and has experience. We're not going to specify how many years. We received no communication from anyone in support or opposition. 67 residents who live within 2 blocks signed a petition in favor. Their hours of operation they're proposing is opening no later than 11 a.m., closing by 12 a.m. Sunday through Thursday, 2 a.m. Friday and Saturday. Will not use outdoor space for commercial use, close all doors and minutes. Ambient background for music only, no live music, no DJ promoted events, no pub crawls, party buses, no limited drink specials, happy hours still. Okay, I think that was a quick little summary there. Is there anything to add, change, or? Oh, yeah, just want to use the microphone. Oh,
That way it'll be.
one specific question, I just to clarify for my here. How many, I know that you can get in this, but how many years of operation have you worked in the business? Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Anthony Caravello, Navaphone, purchaser of this business. We're actually going back 20 years here. So it was a place called Room Service. I was filed that application back in 2004, DBA Plum, and then it transferred to the current owner, the same DBA but a different entity. The applicant's been there for 10 years. He has intimate knowledge in the establishment and the method of operation. We're not changing anything. He obtained a significant amount of signatures. He's tip certified, you mentioned him at the start, which is nice. And we reached out to the St. Mark's Block Association. We didn't shop this one day, this is March. She thanked us. We'd be delighted to answer any questions that committee may have. Thank you.
Okay, I think just we'll go make sure, is there anyone from the public here to speak to this? Please raise your Zoom hand if you are here on Zoom to speak to this item, or anyone in the public. Seeing no one, maybe have any questions?
So you're going to be a new owner
Yeah.
of this establishment, all right. There was a lot of 311 noise complaints.
Oh, and I think it's also the question I have on that, and I don't know. I think there was 2 or 3, actually, I missed that, there's 2 or 3 items, 2 or 3 actually non-crime directly where the police did show up and took action. However, there was probably another 10 or 12, but the response was the police couldn't gain access to the premises.
It's
So,
not during business.
it could possibly, do you know anything about that? Is there?
I'm not aware of that's one, but usually, when the police stop by my restaurant, right, they ask for the, camera record for the, the time of security on that street. Because the camera in my restaurant is very good. So they're like, you have to stop by in a video away, every all the time. We have a good relationship with the.
They probably came after us closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've worked in this exact business for over 10 years. Right? Yeah,
What's been
And you're keeping it along
you're staying exactly the same.
and. Population.
like, we want to be kind to the point, like mine, a little bit, and then we intend to do these kind of primaries.
These are the ones that they began.
Yeah, that's right. I did saw it was much that they were.
Yeah.
That's a wild street.
Yeah, that's true.
Not I probably say. With
I
confidence.
mean, they've been there for 20 years and I'm not sure of any ancillary violations that I'm aware of any of the establishments. Which is pretty good, 2 decades.
Yeah. Especially on St. Mark's. Okay, so that being said, we're gonna go ahead and put the relationship up on the screen. Okay, so it's and it's, is it Navaphone? Navaphone Budapata. As a qualified representative of Kasami Incorporated, located at 7 State Marketplace. My application is for, and it's a full liquor license, which you can check off. Will operate a full service Thai restaurant, with kitchen open, serving food, storing hours of operation. The hours of operation will be 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. all days. I will not use outdoor space for commercial use. You don't have a doorman, it's already been, so you don't need to install soundproofing. And the front windows do open, right? Yeah, so you'll close all doors and windows at 10 p.m. or when any amplified sound is playing. You will not have DJs, live music, third-party promoted events, and even performances. You'll play only on for background music only. Not apply for an operation without coming to CB3. will not distribute pub crawls or party buses, will not have unlimited drink specials, will have a happy hour ending by 8, will not have wait lines, will have a staff person responsible for ensuring no loitering, will post the stipulation by the liquor license, resident may contact the manager owner number below. It's not on the pub crawl, 646-858-9606. We'll move to a vote. Stephen Ballinger.
Yes.
Steve Meltzer, yes. Michael Lavario.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays.
Approved, you will be getting the topic will be emailing out, I think, probably tomorrow, you should,
Thank you. So
thank you. Moving on to number 5, Cafe La Rosa at 47 Monroe Street. The applicant's here in person for 47 Monroe Street. And if not, please raise your Zoom hand, we will promote you. Okay. Helen, the Helen from before, we just go on. Just go on. Okay, I think if- Michael, if you, I think you're muted, I think you were talking.
Did you say 47 Monroe Street?
Yes.
Okay,
Number
that's
5,
me
the
and
roads
Jay.
at 47 Monroe. Are you you're the applicants?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, do you have a lawyer representative with you at all?
Yes, on Zoom, Frank Palula.
Oh, Frank is, okay, we'll find Frank.
I was
Jen-
just on the phone with him.
Jenny, are you here for this item?
Sorry, the audio's.
Yes, as a community member, as a neighbor.
Okay, perfect. We'll get to you shortly. So okay, now we have Frank with us. Great. Okay, I'm gonna give a quick little summary here. We have 47 Roses LLC doing business as Cafe La Rosa. Is seeking a full on-premises license for the premises located at 47 Monroe Street between Mechanics Alley and Market Street. This is an application for an establishment of up to 74 people with 11 tables, 22 seats, including a stand-up bar, full kitchen, serving food during while operation, no television, streaming music at background level from small speakers. There are only 2 full on premises liquor licenses within 500 feet. There are 500 feet. Previously unlicensed location, it was formerly a clothing store. The applicant currently owns and operates the York, located at 186th Avenue B. Been in operation since March of 2023. They also previously were the general manager of Black and White, located at 86 East 10th Street. 20 residents who live within 2 houses locations signed a petition in favor. They are proposing hours of operation, opening no later than 12 p.m., closing by 2 a.m. all days. They will not use outdoor space for commercial use. We will install soundproofing. On the recorded background music only, no live music DJs, promoted events, scheduled performances. No pub crawls, party buses, no unlimited drink specials and happy hours until 7. Okay. Is there anything you would like to add, say? Correct, any of that stuff? I think you're still muted, Frank, sorry.
Right?
Frank, I think you were talking, but you're muted.
I'm gonna message him.
Can you hear us? I don't have to.
Yeah, usually he's pretty good with this. Yeah.
Frank, you're muted.
There he goes.
Yeah, but I can't seem to get my video on, so, hey, guys.
Oh, we can see you.
Oh, that's great. Do I look good? So there is an inconsistency. The hours of operation are closing at 2 a.m. Unfortunately, the petitions say 12 a.m.
Ah. Thank you for pointing that out, but you could have got away with that, right? Okay. But now we lost Frank. I think we might have lost them all together.
Yeah, I'm not seeing him.
It looks like you dropped.
Did you disappear altogether?
Here's me joining us now.
I'm sorry, I'm using a computer that doesn't have Zoom on it,
Ah,
and it's funky. I didn't have time to download it. Sorry, guys, back, I'm here. So Cliff, there is that discrepancy.
okay. So, I mean, normally we would make you correct that. What did your? Did the posting, what did the posting say?
Here,
Is it?
10, 12.
No, I know, but the other picture. did the
Oh,
posting-
you get
the
the
picture-
picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too. I can.
I mean, understanding the problem. James, you would agree to 1? I presume?
Yeah,
Yeah, we would agree.
yeah, that's,
This is on us.
Okay, well, okay, so we're gonna put that on pause for a second. Was there anything else we wanted to add, change, correct, anything with what I just said?
No, guys, anything?
No.
nope.
Okay. So that being said, I think there was at least one person that had signed on to speak from the public.
Yeah, we have Jenny.
Okay, so,
Oh,
okay, there's a couple other people, so,
Or
okay, Jenny, we promoted you. If you wanna go ahead and speak, please.
Thank you. So my name's Jenny, and I live in Knickerbocker Village. We've seen a lot of bars come and go on Monroe Street. And, this is a really quiet strip of Two Bridges. And, we very much so like it to remain that way. And I had reached out and contacted you about whether you're amenable to have your hours reduced to 12 a.m. on weekdays. That would be something that we feel would be more aligned with the other businesses on this particular street. Regarding their closing times, we have one deli on the corner of Monroe and Market that closes at around 10 p.m. and that's the latest that business that closes. And we also have another item on the agenda tonight, which is on the same street on Monroe Street that borders Market Street, but like we really would like to keep the hours reasonable for a very residential part of the neighborhood. So, I'm glad. Thank you for catching your own mistake with regards to your petition. But I think 1 a.m. all days of the week is a bit of a stretch for this part of the neighborhood, and we'd really appreciate it if you could change the weekday hours at least to closing at 12 a.m. And also, I'm a little bit disappointed that you don't have much to say regarding like your food menu, your what you're offering the community, what type of value.
So,
Okay, and
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, why don't we wait until there's a couple other people with their hands raised? So just kind of make a quick note, and if you want to elaborate on that a little bit once we hear what everyone has to say.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the next we have. Christina Zag. Okay, Christina, I think you unmute yourself. You can go ahead and speak, please. You'll have 2 minutes. Christina, can you hear us?
just no attending.
No, it's promoted. She's on
Christina.
Christina Zhang.
Talking is permitted.
And she here on the screen.
I want to just come back.
Okay, Christina, we're gonna move on. Did you?
Still in the 10 beyond.
Okay,
You can allow someone to talk.
but Christina, why? We're gonna go ahead and promote.
Could allow them to talk.
But Christina Zhang has been here. We're gonna move on from her. Christina, why? You are now being promoted to speak.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Please go ahead.
Great, thank you so much. I had one question. I thought that on the application, they had requested sidewalk cafe or outdoor dining, and I didn't hear that mentioned in the presentation just now. So I'm hoping that we can get an answer on that, and if they are, maybe we can get a chance to rebut on that because, oh,
No,
sorry.
no, that's why when I read off, I did say they're not, and they did check off no, but potentially down the road, which is what any applicant has the option to. Right now, they're saying no, they will not be using outdoor space.
Oh,
But they-
great. So no tables and chairs out front.
Right now, that's, they checked
Okay.
off, they could say potentially down the road, which is everyone's option, but right
Right,
now.
exactly. Okay, thank you. Thank you for clarifying. I also live in the neighborhood, and I agree with what the first speaker said, that this is a really quiet neighborhood. And for people who aren't familiar with Monroe Street, if you walk a little further away from the proposed space of Cafe La Rosa, there's like a church, there's an electrician, we have a record store, we have 2 hair salons, we have the American Buddhist Association, 2 Buddhist temples. They're all places that close. This is very, very early. It's a very quiet neighborhood. Everybody here works, have kids, people are getting up early. This is not a party part of the neighborhood. We have a really successful restaurant, Golden Diner, just down the, on the next block. They close at 10 every night. We have Bon by Lauren, the really successful coffee shop. They close at 6 every night. We just have Bar Oliver that just opened in the neighborhood on Oliver Street. They close at midnight every night. That's their latest closing. So this is really, asking for 1 or 2 a.m. is not really in keeping with the neighborhood. It's just not a place where we also don't want people, who are out drinking and coming to get food late at night and walking over and drinking more and getting food and keeping the neighbors up. It's just not on par with the neighborhood, and we're really hoping that we can get the earliest closing that's in keeping with what's already in the neighborhood. And thank you so much for letting me speak tonight.
Thank you, Christina. Okay, we have Dennis.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes, I'm at the intersection of Madison and Market Street. We have 3 bars under our window, and there's been police action at all 3. Realistically, they can't control their people outside, and we have noise from the management talking outside all hours of the night. The tavern at the old repair garage at 130 Madison, beside the Manhattan Bridge, we get really good acoustics out of that alley. So we get noise from them too, but their parties are not every night. The skateboard place under the Manhattan Bridge there at Monroe Street, we get their broadcast right up the alley. So these are apartments on the 2nd floor up on these old walk-up buildings. They cannot be soundproofed. And we've been fighting since 2015, when all the print shops at that intersection were not renewed or leased. They were put out, so we're being replaced with nightlife. We also have a 24-hour pool hall at 124 Madison Street, which is more and more popular now an all-night party room. So we're overloaded. We need to sleep at night. We have families with kids, without kids. People got to get up and go to work. And the kids, they got to get up and go to school. Yeah, well, that's all I got to say, because, it's as if the community board, the politicians, it's like nobody cares. It's like, yeah, well, that's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis.
Can I ask him?
Wait. Go ahead, bring it.
Um, Can I ask if you've notified the board at all about these problems?
Dennis, we're bringing you back.
Dennis, can I ask, if you've notified the community board at all about these problems that you're dealing with?
Oh, yes, over the years. I come back to the city in 2018 after being working out of state. My wife's been tortured since 2015. That's when phones opened. And it's only gotten worse. They keep rubber stamping bars.
I don't recognize your name as far as the complaints, so I'm gonna ask, if there are other problems. I'll be very happy to work with you if you'll send in either fill out.
I'll send you all my record of emails to
That would be
CB3.
fine. That would be fine.
You know, yeah,
Thank you.
yes.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. Okay, I think there was one more person. We're good.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, Christine, we can, go ahead.
I apologize for earlier. I don't know what happened.
No problem.
So my name is Christina Zhang. I live in Knickerbocker Village, right across the street from Cafe de la Rosa. I just want to reiterate what the others have said. This is a very quiet residential neighborhood, and I don't think and I'm confused about what the actual closing hours are on the application now. The audio was terrible earlier, so I can't really hear, but I would not support anything like opening past 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. If you could close like at 12 midnight every day, I would be fine with that. But we just want to preserve this neighborhood as, something quiet, people need to sleep. And I walk by the intersection of Market and Madison late sometimes at night, around midnight on Fridays, and it's just a mess. There's like crowds of people talking and drinking and smoking outside at that intersection, and it's insane. And I don't want that to happen closer to where I live. So if you guys could consider earlier closing times, that would be great. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Christina. I think that was it for members of the public. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the applicants. I think one thing, I guess, just that maybe if you could just spend a minute, because in my summary, I was a little light on it. And we didn't really, could you just spend a minute to explain kind of what your concept and what you're proposing to do in your space?
I apologize. Can you repeat that question?
Yeah, could you just take a second and kind of explain what you're proposing to do in your concept? I think that was the first speaker kind of question.
Jenny did, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I want to apologize to that. I wasn't sure, given the format of that was my time to speak on it or anything. Just introduce myself. My name is James Hurst. My business partner Hayden is with me on the call here. We are trying to open a cafe that is, going to be open, for, as soon as mornings for brunch, lunch, things like that, dinner as well. It's going to be casual, breakfast tacos, burritos, things like that. Our liquor license is kind of focusing on having a frozen margarita machine. We are not going to have a typical bar. We do not have like a loud type thing like that. We are seated. We are servers, things like that. We're not trying to open another place. We are owners of a bar on Avenue B called the York, and we
Very food forward.
Very food forward. We are hoping to be able to deliver to the neighborhood. That's a huge aspect that we want to try to contribute and add to our business model is delivery food. Burritos deliver great, and we just want to be able to bring that to that area. The liquor menu as well is going to be very, minimal and kind of focused on, pre-made things like frozen margaritas, and beers and wines and things, there's not gonna be a shot option, a beer shot special, like a normal bar type thing. We're not going in that direction at all. We really are focusing on food primarily, and as everyone knows, liquor is profitable, but it's not our focus.
Hi guys, I'm Hayden. I am, James' business partner, the executive chef of the York. I do all the food program, and this is something that we fully understand your concerns about late night, and I feel like it got misconstrued. This is fully, first and foremost, a restaurant. I'm from Arizona. That food that I grew up with is my passion, and I want to like bring it to New York. So this is by no means a bar. We just fully want to have the option to have, frozen margaritas and margaritas to go with it. So yes, midnight, if that's, something neighborhood wants, we're open to. We honestly just want to be here for,
And also just there was a couple people that brought up the concept of the issue of noise and
You're
stuff.
making Frank's head explode. I think he
You're
wants to
making
say-
my head explode, both of you. Can I say something, please?
Sure.
Jesus, hate my clients. We have differing positions from the residents. Some residents say it's a quiet neighborhood. Dennis says it's completely loud. I've got only 2 restaurants on premises liquor licenses within 500 feet. One closes at 2 a.m. on weekdays and 4 a.m. on the weekends. The other closes at midnight during the week and 2 a.m. on the weekends. Also, I know that neighborhood very well. Okay, admittedly not as good as the residents do, but there's a train overhead that's deafening. This bar, restaurant, cafe could not make nearly as much noise as this train does. Having said that, it's my client's call on the hours. I think something like 12 and 1 is something they could agree to.
yeah. Totally.
Absolutely.
So let's, we don't need to, before we go any further and go back and forth, can 12 during the week and 1 on the weekends, is that something you'd agree to?
Yes.
So they're going to clip.
I said 12 during the week and 1 on the weekend, if they would agree to that, and they said
The
yes.
business guys.
Yes,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Okay, I think that goes a long way, because one, it has been an unlicensed location before. If you're there and you're successful and you win all over your neighbors, as everyone knows, you have the right to come back, but I think that's a very decent compromise, 12 during the week and 1 on the weekends.
Clint, can I also add one thing? I did the 311s on New York. There are none.
No, I don't think there were.
You know what?
There were none on the other streets. No, and I go by that place regularly, and I've actually been in there. It's not a problem, I would say that. Have you ever heard anything about it?
So you're saying, Friday, Saturday, close at 1, or Thursday through
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever you want, guys.
Just goes-
If we, yeah, I mean, let me just say it like this. We when we opened New York, we wanted the neighborhood to, help dictate what the space became. We want this neighborhood to dictate what we become too. We want to do as much as we can. And then at the end of the day, it's to the people who live in that neighborhood. We're not trying to bring in weekend crowd people and things like that. But if people, the reason we asked for 2 in the original point is that if people wanted to be there until 2 o'clock, we wanted a place that they could be there for the people who live in that neighborhood. I understand that's not everyone, but that might be some people. And to that point, we're a business at the end of the day. We're not trying to keep a fully staffed kitchen and management in servers if there's no one in the space. It doesn't make sense to us. So we wouldn't stay open till 2 o'clock twiddling our thumbs, or till 2 a.m. twiddling our thumbs if there wasn't a reason to. We wanted to see how we grow as a business and have that there as an opportunity to grow into, but not as a necessity that we would force as our business model. So with that said, I think I completely agree. I think midnight is fine. I would like to have the opportunity to go, into the evenings if people want it into past midnight, but
So what
I
is it,
think
1
going-
o'clock Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, or just Friday and Saturday was Clint's question?
Whatever you'll give us. I mean, we'll take what we can get.
Okay. Then.
Shoot myself.
We'll throw the 1 a.m. We'll throw the community a bone and say Friday and Saturday to 1, Sunday through Thursday at 12.
Perfect.
That's perfect.
Can you also talk about your plans to soundproof the location? Because as it stands, don't see any soundproofing.
It was a clothing store, so it's probably,
Yes.
probably not soundproof.
So above, directly above is a commercial space that is unrented out. It's I think kind of listed as office space or something. So there's no direct neighbors residential above. And this is not going to be a place that has loud music anyways. You know, this is something that is just about providing a cuisine that I'm really, you know, proud of. And like I said, the York is in great standing. And you know, we soundproofed that as best as possible and got no complaints.
And you have said you're not planning on using the outdoor space, well, at least now you can fly down the road, but, and then the second part was, I think. Are you changing the front facade and the doors and windows open? You did check off your closing by 10, but will it be open windows or?
The windows will have the ability to open for to-go food and things like that. They will close at 10 o'clock as per, you know, everywhere. The door will be
Okay.
closed at 10.
Just
And
clarify that.
as far as soundproofing goes, there will be acoustic treating in the room. The speakers that we're using, we use at the Yorkshire, you're welcome to go look at them. They are Sonos home, you know, speakers are not designed for commercial, you know, large use. They don't, we intentionally EQ out the low end, so they're not very bassy. They don't make, you know, large waves through the, you know, the area. And on top of that, we'll be mounting them to a rubber bracket, which if there was vibrations going into the neighbor's walls, it would limit that. And, you know, we don't crank them up to max or anything like that. It's really about background kind of ambient environmental noise, not pumping music.
Okay. Okay, I mean, I think, does anyone else on the committee have any other questions?
No, thank you for being.
Yeah, thank you for being flexible. It sounds like you heard the concerns from neighbors and, you know, keep a good relationship with them and that'll work in your favor.
Great, thank you.
Thank you guys.
We're gonna go ahead and put the stipulations up that we're gonna be voting on. Okay, so I, James Hurst of 47 Roses LLC, located at 47 Monroe Street. Will be a full liquor license, will operate a full service restaurant, typically a Mexican Sonoran restaurant. And open serving food during all its operation. Hours of operation will be Sunday through Thursday, 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. Friday and Saturday, 12 p.m. to 1 a.m. You will not have space for commercial use. You're not having a doorman security. You will install soundproofing. You will close any front and rear facade doors and windows at 10 p.m. You will not have DJs, live music, third-party promoted events, any event which tower fee is charged, or scheduled performances, not more than 5 private parties per month. And just so you know, we consider a private party a full buyout of the restaurant, not just someone having a birthday party and a portion. You'll play ambient background recorded music only, not apply for an operation without coming to see. Will not participate in pub crawls with party buses. Will not have unlimited drink specials while the happy hour closing by 7, ending by 7. Not have a wait line while the staff person responsible for no loitering. We'll post a stipulation. Residents may contact the owner at the number below. James Hurst, 310-739-6311.
Sounds good.
I think that's accurate, guys.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everyone. We'll move to a vote. Stephen Ballinger.
Yes.
Clint Smelter, yes. Michael Lavario.
Yes.
Okay. Your application has passed. You will be getting, the office will send you out the stipulations. Frank knows the drill. With direction on when to get them back.
Thank you
Have
so
a good holiday, guys.
Thank you so much.
Okay, moving on, number 6 is Haven NYC Hospitality in 51 First Avenue. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, I'll give a quick summary. Okay, this is Cabin NYC Hospitality Inc. doing business at a trade name to be determined. Seeking a full on premises liquor license, the premise is located at 51 First Avenue between 3rd and 4th Street. An application for an establishment of 164 people, 18 tables, 72 seats with 2 bars, 1 on the ground floor, 37 feet long, 1 in the basement, 18 feet long. Public food served in a full kitchen, food served during all its operation, 4 TVs, live acoustic music and DJs. At background level, there are 21 full premises licenses within 500 feet. This location has been licensed and operated with full liquor license for 25 years as Karma. The last owner ran it since 2021. This current applicant has been operating within CB3 with 2 other licensed establishments, and juke bar. There were 4 commercial crew and 1 complaints at this location since 2018. The applicant met with residents of Village View. They did agree to reduce the hours from their original application, 1 a.m. Sunday to Tuesday, 2 a.m. Wednesday and Thursday, 3 a.m. Friday and Saturday. 6 residents who live within 2 blocks signed in favor of the application. There, that from this Village View comment. They're not using outdoor space for commercial use. They will have a doorman, 2 of them on busy nights. They will install soundproofing. Close any front doors, slide doors, with 10. Ambient background recorded music only, consisting of DJs and live music, as well as background recorded music. Will not apply for any operation without the CB3, no pub crawls or party buses, no drink specials and happy hours until 7. Okay, hand it over to you 2 for anything I might have missed or you want to add or.
Sure. Thanks. Good evening, Mike Lewis. You know, point out that Gene, Lennon was here tonight. In addition to the 2 stores that he operates here in CB3, he operates Trinity Pub on the upper side. He also operates Brooklyn, and he operated the Banshee Pub, Yale Pub, both on the upper side for 15 years. So unlike the applicant that came before you for less flow, which was the last applicant, whose entire, I think, work history involved being running a security company.
And a promotion.
What's that?
And a promotion company.
And a promotion company, right? This is not your applicant tonight, and you know, I'm sure we'll hear about Juke Bar and Mayfly because you know it, but Gene is an experienced operator, and no operator runs a perfect ship. He runs a very, very tight ship. In the case, you know, beyond that, just point out again, emphasize the different support. Gene and his management really pressed reach out to people. I'll also point out that Gene's son, that Gene's son, Connell, is at the moment in the rooms to sort of take over Gene's business. And this is where he will spend a lot of his time working with Gene, if and when it opens. I think you know that Gene spent a big part of Sunday and a big part of today speaking with the Rope Act and trying to work through some of the things that we had. I think 6 is directly across the street of 5, and we try to make some compromises and work with them. So, with that, I'll take the question.
What were some of the discussions that you talked to Richard and folks about? I'm open. Well, yeah. I can take it.
Yeah, we'll move it. Any to summarize, we'll move. I know Richard, I think is here on Zoom that was wanted to speak.
Let's hear from him.
Okay.
And we're happy to.
Yeah, if there's anyone, please raise your Zoom hand if you want to speak to this item. Oh, and we actually do have one person here in public. Person.
Rich, we see you. I'm gonna call on you. Unless you wanna go in person first or.
Let's start with Zoom first.
All right.
Okay, Richard, we promoted you on Zoom if you want to go ahead and.
Okay, what Mr. Paludas, I'm assuming that's Mr. Paludas, and it's certainly not Mr. Hi, Mr. Lennon. We met, we were, Village View was advised of this item on Friday. And so it was very short notice in terms of trying to get our act together to comment on this intelligently for the community board. As Mr. Paludas said, the residents live right across the street from this applicant and from this location. We are a Mitchell-Lama co-op, middle income. We've been fighting this location for the last 5 decades. All of the operators have been problematical. We met on Sunday with Mr. Lennon, and it was, I I don't know if you saw the email that I sent you, Clint, but the discussion was intelligent and measured. And we went over anything and everything that we could possibly have asked for. The major issue that we have is noise. The prior occupiers of that place would leave the windows open on a regular basis. They would leave the basement open on a regular basis. And with 2 occupants going back 2 occupants, we had significant police action at that location. So we are leery about anybody coming in and asking to occupy that space. But Mr. Lennon satisfied the questions of almost everybody, almost every question that we could think of. And he agreed that the hours for the operation could be modified. And I don't want to misspeak. If I'm saying something wrong, Gene, let me know. But I believe the last that we left off was that Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, the closing hours would be 1 p.m. Wednesday and Thursday, the closing hours would be 2 p.m. And Friday and Saturday, the closing hours would be 3 p.m. If the committee chooses to, whatever the committee chooses to put down in the stipulation, we will be curious to see if Mr. Lennon wants to do us even more favors, that would be really appreciated. But that's the gist of it. We look forward to having him as a positive tenant this time for decades of having lousy tenants. Thank you, committee.
Thank you, Richard. Anyone else here from the public on Zoom to speak? Okay, I see no one else on Zoom, so I think you are Lily, right? Yes. You want to go ahead and just please speak in the microphone so that way people on Zoom can hear you.
My name is Lily Mazzano, and I was born on the Lower Side. I currently live on 13 Clinton Street between Stanford and House East. And I am a patron to very often. I also want to mention that I do go to community meetings 3. I also attend 7th precinct every second Wednesday to find out about anything that's going on in my neighborhood, because I'm very active in my neighborhood. And like I said, I really and I also want to say that I do serve on the board as well the last month. I've been there over, I think, 8 to 10 years. We also work alongside HPD. And I also want to mention that I understand what Michael, was it? Richard was saying about the former owners, but I just feel that Gene, because I'm speaking on behalf of them, to be really honest, everything that they have done prior, and I understand about problems and all that. However, Gene and the manager of Mayfly, they've never had any problems. They always, look out for the community. They love serving the community, and the reason why I say that is because whenever we started going there, he really welcomed us, the manager, Lord, and then we would Gene, and it's like a family. They have like a little, people that come in, which I love, and we need a boat like that doesn't have problems. Like I said, I've never heard anything negative about me. So I'm just here on their behalf, and I hope that you guys consider them. And thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, so I think that is it.
Raising your hand again?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Richard, we'll bring you back just for a quick second.
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Well,
No, your hand was raised, so we're just.
oh yeah, you raised your hand. I thought maybe you had it.
All right. I think, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so yes, if anything, I mean, guess there's really not nothing for me to respond to, I mean,
We'll have to work out the hours again, cause.
yeah.
But other than that.
The only other question is, I've been to May 5, I think you've actually been there when you've been there. The only thing I will say, and again, I don't think Susan probably, I don't think has had any complaints, but I will say that I know you are not allowed to have an unlimited brunch. And you do, because your sandwich board is outside, and I've actually reported you to the SLA for that myself, but other than that, I'm.
It doesn't anymore. Me and I had a conversation about that, you noticed that.
I mean, it was about a month ago, it was still out, but.
So we that conversation.
And. Yeah. So, but otherwise, like I said, I'm not saying it's a problem, I've never noticed a problem there, I'm just saying that was. You had agreed to no boozy brunches and you did have boozy brunches.
It encourages a very.
Yeah.
Behavior.
It's a picture up there to exemplify.
Well, I'm even thinking more of people who are doing this stuff like this.
But other than that, I don't think, I mean, and that's, as Richard was saying, they were quite satisfied with the conversation with you, and there have been problems at the previous location, but I'm glad at least you got a chance to meet with Richard, and I mentioned, I think you didn't reach out to him because Village View is not listed as our community group on our website.
We reached out to Laura.
To Laura.
And we didn't hear back, and Jean reached out a couple of times by phone. She did respond eventually, I knew she was busy, but she responded and said, maybe
Talk to Bill.
So immediately Susan was kind enough to hug me.
Yeah, I spoke to Richard and Christine suggested they actually put themselves as a group on the community board's website, just because they're not.
And Laura apologized, the reason this also, so it's from she was on in order to send you to Richard. So, it wasn't the applicant's fault.
No, and that's what I was saying, they reached out to the groups that they found on the website and they're. But I think it all worked out in the end. So, that being said, I don't have any other issues, I think we'll adjust the hours, that is what Village View agreed, which I think is more than reasonable. And, well.
I think, approving a proven operator in the area is a upgrade from what the previous, what previously allowed that, and I'll have them go for the person that had, past 25 years of operating. Just work with the current operator. Sometimes these complaints, all it takes to solve is moving a speaker, and I'm sure here, more than that, it's been working.
The first ones were serious positions.
I don't think we're gonna get that.
Well, I'm just saying.
Monday, Tuesday.
It was.
2, 1. Wednesday.
But it was still called Karma, right?
2.
Yeah.
It was about 2, Thursday. 4, Wednesday, Thursday.
I guess common for.
Yeah.
And
No, Fridays from 12 to.
no, Friday,
From 4 p.m.
4,
to 3 a.m.
just a.
And then.
Saturday, 12 to 3. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna pull the stipulations up. I think, was there something else you wanted to? Oh, okay.
I was just letting you know something.
Yeah, we're gonna pull the stipulations up though, just so we'll go through them, so you see everything we're voting on. So it's IG Lennon, sorry, as a qualified representative of Cava NYC Hospitality at 51 First Avenue, would be a full liquor license, will operate a bar tavern, kitchen, and it's, or do you have a full kitchen or it's less than it is?
It will be, yes.
Okay, so we'll say with a full kitchen, open and serving food during all hours of operation, the hours of operation will be Sunday, 12 p.m. to 1 a.m. Monday and Tuesday, 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. Wednesday and Thursday, 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. Friday, 4 p.m. to 3 a.m. Saturday, 12 p.m. to 3. Right, okay. You will not use outdoor space for commercial use. You will not employ doorman and security, or you will have a doorman and security too on busy nights. You will install soundproofing if needed. You will close any front door for stall dressing windows at 10 p.m. You will have DJs and live music, but you will not have third-party promoted events, any of which which cover fee is charged, scheduled performances, and not more than one DJ per week. It will play, and I think you did have in your comments that even DJs and live music will be a background noise. Yes. So maybe just put that in bottom line where the DJ and live music just say, and you just say live acoustic music, right? Yes. So DJs and live acoustic music will be a background noise. Thank you. You will not apply for an operation without coming to see security. You will not put in party buses, you will not have unlimited drink specials, including boozy brunches. You will have a happy hour that ends by 7. You will not have wait lines. You will have a staff person responsible for ensuring whether there's a crowd. Post the stipulation, residents may contact the owner at the number below, G. Lennon at 914-907-3094. You sure. That. Okay. So everything else is okay. We're gonna go ahead and move to a vote. Steve Ballinger? Yes. Tom Smeltzer, yes. Michael Lavario?
Yes.
Okay. We're sending those out to you probably tomorrow.
Thank you.
You know, thank you, everyone. See, it wasn't that bad. Okay, we are gonna move on to number 7, Bolzot, Wolf and Bear LLC at 55 Market Street. If the applicant is here for this item. Are you guys? Nope. The applicant here on Zoom, please raise your Zoom hand. Ellen was the.
Hello.
Hello, is the applicant here with you?
Yes, they should be.
Oh, there we go. Getting it promoted.
Sorry.
Okay, I think.
Thank you.
Fine, have a good night. Okay, okay, I think. Nayan Surin is the applicant, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read a quick summary as you've heard. So it's Wolf and Bear LLC doing business as Bolzot is seeking a full on-premises license for the premises located at 55 Market Street between Market and Monroe. It's an application for an establishment of 74 people, 6 tables and 16 seats with an 18-foot bar, 20 seats. Full kitchen serving traditional Mongolian food during all its operation, no TVs, background music only. There are only 1 full liquor license within 500 feet. This was a previously unlicensed location. The applicant has not held, but has been in the food and beverage business for over 20 years. 75 residents live within 2 blocks of the location, signed petition in favor of this application. They're proposing hours of operation, opening no later than 10 AM, closing by 12 AM all days. We're all proposing outdoor dining and closed by 10 PM all nights. Close any front or rear facade doors and windows by 10 PM all nights. It will be ambient background recorded music only. Not applied for any operations, no pop trucks, party buses, and may have happy hours till 6 every night. I think that the general summary of your application, if you'd like to go ahead and add anything you'd like to add or correct.
Yes, there are a couple of additions and a couple of corrections. So good evening, everyone. My name is Eleanor Schotten. I'm an attorney with Pazetsky and Bookman. And with me this evening are the owners, Nima and Saran Lee. So this is for 55 Market Street. Bolzot means a meeting point or a gathering place in Mongolian, and that's exactly what Nima and Saran are aiming to create with this curated menu of home-style meals that Nima herself grew up eating, and really highlighting the Mongolian culture. So there will be a dedicated book nook in the space with photos, cultural materials, books, and other items about Mongolian culture to give guests a better understanding of what they can expect at the restaurant. The corrections that I did want to make was that this space has been previously licensed. It did have a restaurant wine license, but that did expire, I believe, in 2018. And the second correction is the hours of operation that we were proposing. So we are proposing 10 AM to 12 AM Sunday through.
You want Ellen, and you sent this in this afternoon, you did.
That is
Yes.
correct. Yes. So we sent
Yes,
the
and
amended
I'm
application.
sorry, I caught it at the end of the day and I forgot to attach it in here with my summary.
No problem. No
But
problem. But
you did submit that, thank you.
yes, so the 10 a.m. to 12 Sunday through Thursday and 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday. We did perform fairly significant community outreach. We did a lot of petition signatures and emails, and we did reach a compromise with Jenny from the Two Bridges Association, which was that cut back to 12 a.m. during the weekend, 1 a.m. on the weekends.
Okay, yes, thank you, and I did glance to those and you did have your petition signatures were correct with what I am actually. So you were
Yes, correct.
Okay.
If any other questions, I'm happy to answer.
Okay. Let's see, is there anyone here from the public to speak to this item? Oh, and you don't think there's anyone here in person for this item, correct? Nope. Okay, so we're gonna move to Robert M. Robert, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Robert, if you would like, oh, there we go, I think you unmute, or, nope, you raised, he lowered his hand, okay. So, we're gonna take that as the you don't want to speak, Robert, so. So next we have Dennis,
Yes, can you hear me?
we can,
Okay, same issue as 47 Monroe. They are more than within earshot of us and also in sight of us. Stipulations, I mean, there's no enforcing stipulations. We have bars that prop their doors open. That's in cold and hot weather. The background music becomes loud music when the people want to dance. The big crowd comes, and of course, they're not going to tell them to go down the street to smoke. And it's not realistic. They're there to make money, and they're not going to run their customers off. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
okay, thank you for that, Dennis. Okay, we have Christina.
Hi, don't really have much to say. I just want to thank the owners of Balzac for accommodating our hours. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for not opening until 2 a.m.
Thank you for adding that.
Phone number.
So I think we have. Phone number
333.
ending in 646, ending in 333. We promoted you. If you want to go ahead and speak.
Hi, yes, this is Jenny from Two Bridges Association. Thank the owners for accommodating the hours that we're requesting. But there's one question that I didn't get a chance to ask is because your location is at the corner, literally right across the street from us, where we live. You're not going to be having any outdoor dining on that corner location.
There's no
Is that
outdoor
correct?
dining part of this application, no.
Okay, fantastic. I wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, next we have, I think, Sadko.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I just want to chime in because I was an owner of a business, a bistro on Sullivan Street, for over 3 years, and Neiman Saran were our waitresses there for that whole time. And I just wanted to say that it was amazing what they did for my location there. They really made it into a neighborhood place, meaning the people in the neighborhood were there. And they were extremely respectful. And if it wasn't for them, I don't think I could have made it for the time I had that business. They're very respectful, hard workers, and they're always accommodating. And if there's ever an issue, I can tell you, they will speak, discuss, compromise, and just do what it takes to make sure that the neighborhood is happy with what they're doing. And I think the fact that we have Mongolian food, which is such a rare thing to have in New York City, and again, it's about the food, The alcohol is kind of secondary to complement it, but I think they're going to have such a great place, and I'm looking forward to going there myself with my family.
Okay, thank you for that, Santo. I just do want to clarify, I think the last person asked. You had it, I think there was 2 different places on your application. Above, you said, are there current plans to use the open restaurant? You checked off no, but at the end, under the kind of stipulations, you checked off. You didn't check off you would not use outdoor space, you checked off you would close any outdoor space by 10 p.m. Are you planning to use the outdoor space or no?
So there are no immediate plans to use the outdoor space. That's not part of this application. It won't be part of the application to the SLA, but Nima and Saran like may in the future apply for outdoor dining, but that is not part of this application.
Well, if you're applying for it later in the future, then we would check off, you will not using outdoor space. And then if you're applying in the future, you would come back in.
Yeah, yes, we would be coming back if we were going to add any outdoor space.
Okay, perfect, that's fine.
We have one more person.
Okay, we have one more member, or someone from the public, I think, wishes to speak. Abby?
Hi. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, sorry, dog is barking. Whoops. I also just wanted to give my show of support for Nima and Saran as well. I was a customer of theirs first many years ago, and they waited on me for many, many years, and I got to see firsthand the type of people that they are, the type of it was almost like they owned the place where they worked. So I know exactly the type of establishment they're going to run. They're just great women, and I think also that they have such a specific concept. And I know that they'll be there every single day. And I live on 49 Monroe, by the way. So I've got my eye on this block as well. And I think that that corner really needs a wholesome restaurant situation. And I think what they're going to bring to the neighborhood is exactly that. So I think people will be so excited to see and to experience what they're going to bring to our neighborhood. So I just wanted to give a wholehearted show of support for them.
Okay, thank you very much, Abby. Oh, we go one more. We have Thomas.
Hello. Am I coming through?
Yes, you are.
Yes. Okay. I basically wanted to just, my name's Thomas Morrison. I ran an establishment for 5 years in the West Village, and Nima and Saran both worked for me. And I just really wanted to drill home exactly what Santo and Abby just said. It was almost like I didn't even have to be there because they ran this and ran it smoothly and got to know everybody in the neighborhood. And it was just warm and inviting. Her and Nima is a fantastic cook. I've been lucky enough to have some of her cooking, and I think a Mongolian restaurant would be perfect for the neighborhood. These girls, I mean, I was the one that would occasionally try and turn up the stereo, and they would turn it down just to, as background noise too. I mean, these girls they are going to be such a good addition to your neighborhood. And it is not a Mr. Fong's. This is a place to get nice, warm food. They will be a watchful eye when that deli closes at 10. If they're there till midnight, those girls are going to be a major part of your community. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much, Thomas.
Sure.
And that is okay. Okay, so we've heard from members of the public. It sounds, there are concerns from media people, but also you clearly have some support from your past experience. And you also, you did agree, sounds like, to work with some of the residents about the hours. So does anyone else on the committee have any questions about it?
I should say it's such a relief to see, a good prospective, proprietor in that part of town. I live not too far away, so it is a quiet residential block. In contrary to what Frank was stating, there is a train, but other than that, it is a residential block. But it's good to see you working with the residents of the neighborhood, and I hope that continues.
Okay, thank you. So I think hearing that, we're going to go ahead and go to the stipulation stuff and go through what we'll be voting on. So it is I, Saran Lee, a qualified representative of Wolf and Bear LLC, located at 55 Market Street. My license will be a full liquor license and will offer a full service restaurant specifically, and I guess we'll clarify to say I'm only a restaurant.
Correct, yes.
With kitchen open serving food during hours of operation. The hours of operation will be Sunday through Thursday, 10 AM to 12 AM, Friday and Saturday, 10 AM to 1 AM. Tuesday, not outdoor space. So I will not use outdoor space for commercial use. The restaurant, you're not having security, you will install soundproofing. You'll close any front door, facade doors and windows at 10 PM or anytime there's any amplified sound. You will not have DJs, allowing the third party promoted events. You can deliberately leave any event which covers the charge unchecked.
No, I believe we checked off that there would.
Okay, so that may have been a mistake in the transfer, that's fine. Or not, and will not have scheduled performances, no more than 5 private parties per year. Just as I clarified earlier, a private party is what we consider as a full buyout of your restaurant, not just a birthday party in the corner.
Understood.
And then, so you are planning on the quarter background music only?
Correct.
Yeah, so we'll check that off. Then you will not apply for an operation without coming to CV3, not participate in pub crawls or party buses, will not have unlimited drink specials, including boozy brunches. And I do think, as I remember this, I don't think you had a happy hour checked. Were you planning on a happy hour?
Nima, did you want a happy hour?
Yes, Andy at 6.
So 6? Okay, perfect. I will have a happy hour ending by 6. You will not have wait lines outside. You will have a staff person to ensure no loitering, noise, or crowds. We'll post the stipulations by your license and resident may contact the owner manager at the number below. And it's Sarah Lee, and what is the phone number for?
Or no, if you change it to Nima Anobayan, and then I have the phone numbers matching on the
We can do that as well.
whichever.
On the computer, is that one? Yeah.
It's a long name. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, is that the phone number, the 415 number?
Yeah, 415-316-6841.
Perfect. Okay. So if everything looked okay on there, we're gonna go ahead and move to a vote.
Yep.
Oh, wait, so did you have something to say? Okay, sorry, I thought you started to say something. So move to a vote, Stephen Ballinger?
Yes.
Clint Smeltzer, yes. Michael Lavario?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes, so the office will be sending you out the stipulations with instructions to get it back to us. And good luck.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay. Next, we are moving on to number 9, Time Out New York, 124 East 14th Street. Set. Okay, so we have Seth Weinberg and Virginia Rector.
Yes, hi, guys.
Good evening.
Okay. So, and I should have done this at the beginning of the meeting, Susan and I discussed this and I forgot. So you did not submit any petition signatures. Did you get petition signatures?
To my knowledge, I don't believe any have been submitted or collected at this point.
None at all.
I do not believe so. I believe that's correct.
Yes. Is there a reason why?
I believe my office reported to me that there was just a timing issue in terms of it. No other reason.
Because unfortunately, and that's disappointing, that is what we consider necessary as part of a complete application. So I guess our options, what really would be, and not that we'd be doing this, is we would either have to deny for incomplete submission, Or you do have the option of withdrawing and coming back next month.
If those are the two options, and I can speak to Virginia about this offline, I suspect we would have to withdraw and come back next month with the same application.
Yes, I mean, that's why I was, and unfortunately, I didn't realize this till this afternoon. I emailed off, because sometimes the petitions get submitted and they don't get to us. And if not, I usually try to reach out soon enough, but I was just really busy at work today and didn't get a chance to reach out to you, so I apologize for that.
I hear you. I apologize. I would love to tell you that we have one. We may, in all honesty. I do not know that for a fact at this moment, though, and I cannot supply you with one on this call today.
Okay, well, if we want, I mean, if you want to take a minute, you can discuss it and we can move on to the next item and come back to you just to confirm, but. If you want to do that, that's fine.
That's fine, if you wouldn't mind.
Yes, we'll move on to the next item and then we'll take you next after that.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay. Next, we are moving on to number 10, Bowie's Lucky 88 LLC at 125 Canal Street. Give me just 1 second to get the summary up here. Okay.
I can pull it up.
Oh, okay. Thought I can.
I got it.
Okay, so Bowie's Lucky 88, and applicant, attorney, obviously. Bowie's Lucky 88 LLC doing business to be determined is seeking a wine and beer license for the premises located at 125 Canal between Christie and the Manhattan Bridge. An application for establishment of 74 people, 7 tables and 35 seats, including 1 bar, an outdoor cafe with 3 tables and 6 seats, kitchen, serving food during all its operation, no television, background levels. 7 salon premises licenses within 500 feet. This is a previously unlicensed location. The applicant is currently the manager of Tiger Lily Kitchen and does have previous experience in the industry as manager of Corner Bistro, Pop Fair, and Swift. 6 residents who live within 2 blocks of location signed petitioning in favor. Proposing hours of operation, opening within 12 p.m. all day, by Monday to Thursday, 2 a.m. Friday and Saturday. Doorman, and then there was also soundproofing, so then temporary outdoors Mondays at 10. On bathroom for the week only. No pub girls party buses, no unlimited drink specials, will not have happy hours. I think that's general summary. I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks. Mike Lewis again, thank you, gentlemen. This is John O'Brien. 2 points of clarification and then one thing to add. So I kind of created some diagram before I came this afternoon. And Tiger Lily closed in August. So it's really, and then what I would like to add is just that this is really a relocation of that business. Tiger Lily was on 38 3rd Avenue. It lost the demolition clause and was out. So
that's okay, it's not there.
It's not there.
John was none of them are there anymore now.
And his right department, John was actually the owner, and John was operating while that operated on 3rd Avenue. So
Is it at 125 Canal? Because when I, okay. Because when I look it up, when I was looking up the post, it's already there. I was a little confused by it. There or what. According, when I look it up on the internet, it says 125 Canal already. Like,
There's a Google profile.
yeah.
That's for to go.
Sorry, we're already, kitchen is already operating.
Oh, okay.
Take out.
to go food present. So it's open.
It's open, okay, that's why it's there when you look
So
at it.
I was like talking about that.
Yeah.
It was not open. so-
Yeah, he was saying earlier.
Right. But that's why that's the case. It's a small store, it's an Asian fusion restaurant. If you know what Tiger Lily on 3rd Avenue, that's what you're gonna see here with slightly more robust food options. Okay. So
I think you said you corrected 36 seat, was it, you said you had 2, but was there one other thing you had to correct?
yes.
Oh, like,
That's the
that's, okay, that's, I already, okay, so there's the 2 things.
Yeah. That's it. I have any questions?
Okay, is there anyone here from the public for this item? You're here from the public on Zoom, please raise your Zoom hand, being none. Okay, anyone from the committee?
I live across, or Tiger Lily, I walk my dog there every single day and there's absolutely zero problems, so. This application.
And in all honesty, like they are, you're basically facing the bridge at this point, like, I don't know if we're really gonna,
It's very little residential. approach.
you're not gonna have an impact on. Yeah.
Don't do that.
It's actually not a hotel.
Yeah.
It's
Take it outside and start.
Okay, does, Michael, you have anything?
No, seem pretty good.
And there's no one here from public to know.
No.
No one has any issues, okay, so I guess at that point, we'll just move right along and move to the stipulations. Okay, so I, John O'Brien, is a qualified representative of Boat 88 LLC, located at 125 Canal Street, will operate no service or full liquor license, Asian fusion restaurant, kitchen open and serving food during hours of operation. Hours of operation will be indoors, Sunday through Thursday, 12 p.m. to 1 a.m., Friday to Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 a.m., outdoors Saturday to Sunday, 12 p.m. to 10 a.m. You're only doing outdoors on Saturday and Sunday?
I think that's 7 days, 12 p.m. to 10 p.m.
All days?
That was just a question, but you want. Yeah, I don't think it was a concern, I think it was, well, clarifying, yeah. Okay, and then I would close all outdoor dining under the open restaurants program by 10 p.m. You know, during Dorman, and you said you are in store on Sound, or you're open, so. So you already have, it, you know. And then you will close any front. Or we have doors and windows at 10 p.m. You want to have DJs, and music, good party, no events, any event. Coverage charge or scheduled performances on not recorded backgrounds only. Not apply for an alteration upcoming CE3. Well, classical. Not participating in public party buses. Oh wait, and you know what? I know I said at the very beginning with beer and wine, but I think when I said at the very top of this section, I said full liquor license. But you are only doing beer and wine. So it is checked off. Yep, okay, it was checked off correctly, I just read it wrong. Okay, so that was correct. We'll not participate in public party buses, we'll not have unlimited drink specials, we'll not have a happy hour, we'll not have wait lines, we'll staff is responsible for ensuring no loitering noise or crowds. Also stipulation, residents may contact the manager owner at the number below. John O'Brien, 917-853-9622. Okay. Moving on to a vote. Stephen Bauer.
Yes.
Simpson Officer, yes. Michael Lavario. Yes. Okay, motion passes. Ops will be sending them out to you. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna move back to number 7, Bullseye. See if they've had a chance to speak.
That they're promoting you in a second.
We're going back to time today, we're gonna discuss.
There was no time because.
Okay, Seth, and I don't know if Virginia's still on, but
No, she is not. Just to clarify, as a point of clarification from your last statement, it is not Balzac, it is timeout market. Just to be clear, so that we have the right item in the record. And we have.
oh, sorry, I did, you're right. Sorry, you are correct, it is time.
No problem. We don't accidentally want to make a statement on behalf of the wrong applicant. We are going to seek to withdraw and refile for next month. We apologize for any confusion. We will submit with the corrected paperwork in an earlier basis, so that we will be able to submit a full and complete package to you. We
I
apologize.
think if you could just send an email to the office saying you're withdrawing and coming back next month, and we'll not go to the SLA before you come to us.
You'll email the 30-day notice, you don't have to mail it again. Just email the 30-day notice to the Chan that you emailed before.
I'm sorry, can you ask you to repeat that one more time?
Yeah, your 30-day notice, you'll just email that to Ed Chan, you've been in contact with. If you'll just email that to him and to be on the May agenda.
Email the 30-day notice to Ed Chan.
Yeah, you don't have to send anything in the mail, it's just it's bookkeeping to make sure you get on.
Got it. Understood.
And then really, you don't have to, I mean, if you want, but you don't really have to change out your application, everything is fine, we just need the petition signatures and all. Okay,
Yep.
thank you. We'll see you
Thank
next
you
month.
very much. And thank you very much. We'll send the withdrawal notice this evening.
Thank you. Okay, and now moving on to number 11, Dolce Boutique NYC at 221 East Broadway. The applicant is here. Please raise your hand, or are you? Okay.
Jenny,
Jenny Verona. Dennis Sorakax. Sorry if I mispronounced your name.
Okay, are you able to hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so my name is Jenny Belverona. You could call me Jenny. I know it's a little long.
And you're the applicant, correct?
Yes, correct.
Do you have a attorney or representative here with you?
No, I'm sorry. Are you guys able to see me? Because I'm trying. I'm trying.
I was
to
going
work.
to your video. Oh, now we do.
There we go.
Yeah,
Okay. Hi. Yes. No, I don't have anyone with me right now.
okay. That's okay. Not required. We're just going to make sure we're here. We promote them, but.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to give a quick summary of your application, and then we'll hand it over to you. So this is Dolce Boutique NYC. The person is seeking a beer and wine license in the premises located at 221 East Broadway. This is an application for an establishment of 74 people with 6 tables and 20 seats, a bar with 15 seats, and less than a full-service kitchen serving coffee during all hours operation. No television, or background music. There are 4 full on-premises licenses within 500 feet. This location was previously unlicensed. The applicant has never had a license or have been a license holder, but has worked in the business for over 10 years and has been its general manager for 6 years. That 6-year part is not, I don't, I'm not, I think that was a mistake, but I know you have worked in the business for over 10 years. And there were no commercial growing complaints at this location. I've received no support or opposition to this item from anyone in the community. 25 residents who live within 2 blocks of the location signed a petition with the application. They're proposing hours of opening no later than 3 p.m. Monday through Thursday, opening at 12 p.m. Friday and Saturday, closing by 2 a.m. all nights. Now, I'm not sure if there's a mistake on your questionnaire and application. You didn't have any hours filled in for Sunday. Were you planning on being open Sunday, or was that just a oversight?
No, yes, I was planning to be open on Sunday. I didn't put an hour on the application. Is that what you said?
one part in the application, but not.
Yeah, I think maybe that was a mistake. I saw it in one part of it, but I think I missed it on the other.
Oh yes, I see it because I have it in front of me.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
In
it was a
the
mistake.
first part you have it, and then in the second part, that's where I looked at the second part and missed it. Okay, so the hours is basically Saturday and Sunday, 12 to 2 a.m., Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. And then I wasn't sure, you didn't have it checked off, and I wasn't sure because it is a new space. Are you planning on having operable windows or doors on the front that open up, other than your entrance door? Are you planning on having an open facade?
No, it's just the
Okay.
entrance door that opens and closes.
Okay, so we're gonna check off, there's a box that says I will have a closed fixed facade with the exception of my entrance door. And then you're planning on beyond background only, and not apply for an operation, nothing with PD3, no problem with party buses, no unlimited drink specials, no happy hours. Okay, so I think that's generally, a summary of that. Is there anything you would like to add or say about your proposed business?
Yes, sure. So the business, Dolce, so it's going to be called Dolce Momento. I had it as on my application as a pending DBA. So, but right now it's already official. I have my DBA already. So it's going to be called Dolce Momento. So Dolce Momento is just like the name. I want people to come in, have a sweet moment, family oriented. It's going to be Latin Asian fusion. It's going to be a very unique concept because when you walk in there, you're going to be like somewhere else. Everything is made like rustic. We made the doors. The doors are made like we didn't buy them; they were made. Like ancient modern look. The the restaurant is very family. I want it to be very family focused and oriented. I want to offer the community food until like a little later because I do speak a lot to the neighbors, and they're always they said they always have that need of something past midnight because the only other place that closes past midnight, it's like 2 blocks away, and they either have to walk and they don't deliver. So I said I will deliver because this was a need in the community. And that's pretty much it. I just want it to be, I want people to come in there and enjoy, you know, relieve some stress. I want to complement my food with some wine and beer, a glass of cider. And that's about it.
Okay. And I agree. I mean, you had pretty substantial support from the buildings nearby the street, so you did.
Yeah. I speak to them every day. Like when I walk around, I say hi, you know. I try not to be awkward, even if they don't know that I'm the person that's in the business. I try to say good morning, good afternoon, how are you today? And I guess some people find that weird, but you know, it's a community and I want them to feel good, you know.
Okay. So we're gonna move to members of the public. If there's anyone here to speak inside, please raise your Zoom hand. And it appears that there is no one here from the public to speak, so we're gonna go ahead and move to the stipulations. Jenny Buck?
Okay.
Lives down the block from the place by, and I can attest.
Sorry.
Our late night options are very limited. This actually would be really nice to have a place that's open past midnight that isn't like a burger at food joint. So
Right.
yeah, she's not lying when she says we can.
Okay, so thank you for that, Michael. We're gonna go ahead and put the stipulations up of what this is what we're gonna be voting on. Okay, so it is I, Jenny Bell Corona, as qualified representative of Dolce Boutique NYC Corporation, located at 221 East Broadway. My license will be a wine, beer, and cider license. I will operate a tapas restaurant with less than a full service kitchen serving food during the hours of operation. The hours of operation will be Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 2 a.m., Saturday and Sunday, 12 p.m. to 2 a.m. I will not use outdoor space for commercial use. You're not having dormant security. Now, the one question I did have, because it was previously unlicensed and I think it was a clothing store, are you installing any soundproofing?
Soundproofing, no, because it's not going to be anything loud. It's going to be I even have the speakers that I have are like 2 small speakers on the ceiling, and I did a double ceiling. So the ceiling that's on top, it's not the ceiling where the speakers are. There's like a big gap. I would say maybe about 4 or 5 feet gap, and then I put another ceiling on it. So it's not going to be anything loud. I want it to be more restaurant. I want people to be able to talk and not have any loud noises, you know. It's going to be background music basically.
And are there apartments directly above you though?
I'm sorry?
Are there apartments directly above your space though?
Apartments, I believe yes, there is an apartment, I believe, above me. Yeah, I believe because the building there
Okay,
should
good.
be in it.
That's the only concern is that just if you are not installing soundproofing, because it wasn't a restaurant or bar before, it probably wasn't soundproof. So it just, you know, it could be an issue, especially if there are apartments directly above you.
Okay. So do you suggest that I find out if it's soundproofed already?
So how about this? I mean, it
Yeah,
probably
you
not.
should. A lot of those buildings are like very old on East Broadway, like a lot of tenement buildings, so the sound.
So here's what I would suggest, and you can agree or choose, this is up to you, but I would suggest we can put, I will install soundproofing if necessary.
Okay.
Because, we've done that before to ensure no noise or sound in the apartments in the adjacent apartments.
Okay, sounds good.
Is that something you're okay with? Is that?
Yes, sure. Because I actually left the space thinking about it, but I didn't think I would have to soundproof it because it's not going to be loud music. But if it needs to be soundproofed, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I will actually ask the neighbors to be honest.
What we look for is that the sound not be audible in the apartment. So you maybe want to do a test or something, in the space and they have the neighbors, check and see if they can hear anything or they say they're wrong.
You're cutting off, sweetheart. What did you say?
She just said it might be a good idea for you to do a test just in the beginning with some
Right.
sound, just to see, because then it'll, help save you time and energy, and money in the long run, if you need to do it in the beginning. Just because
Right.
if the space wasn't soundproofed at all, and it was a clothing store, having people and kitchen noise and everything else. And if you're staying open, if we are gonna approve to 2 AM and you're open till 2 AM every night. And that noise, and there's people living directly above it, could be an issue if it's not soundproofed.
Right, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, so the noise just can't be audible in the adjacent apartments.
Okay, yeah. So I only have apartments above me. I have an empty lot.
Lot next to you, yeah.
Yes, and then there's just other restaurants next to me. So
Yeah,
it's
so
only above.
it should be pretty easy for you to check and test, and if you do need to do something, if the noise, if they're hearing it in there. And it sounds like you have a good relationship with the neighbors as it is, so you may just want to speak to them and say, before we get going, we just want to test this.
Right, that's good. Yeah.
Okay, good, so we'll just put, you will install if necessary, that way you can figure that out. Okay, thank you for that. You'll have a closed fixed facade with no open doors and windows except your entrance door. You will not have DJs, live music, third-party promoted events, any of them will cover fee charges for performances. You will play ambient recorded background music only. You will not apply for an alteration without coming to CV3. Will not seek a change in class without coming to CV3. Will not fit in other party buses. Will not have unlimited drink specials. Will not have a happy hour. Will not have wait lights outside. Will have a staff person responsible for ensuring no loitering, nor the crowds. Conspicuously post stipulations, resident contact the owner, number below, Jenny Valcarona at 907-545-3171.
Yes, that's correct. One correction I do want to make. So at the beginning of the application, I see that it says Dulce, D-U, is Dolce, so it's D-O-L-C-E.
So it's D-O, there we go, D-O-L-C-E, boutique and corporation.
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you for that correction. Okay, but I think if that's everything, we're going to move to a vote. Stephen Ballinger?
Yes.
Stephen Smelter, yes. Michael Lavario? Yes. Okay, so your application was approved. The office will be sending you out. Now, do you have it? Are you working with the attorney at all, or are you just handling it yourself?
No, I worked with someone that helped me do the application, but she works with attorneys, but she's not an attorney. She just helped me.
It's anyone, because just whoever has been working with the office sending the paperwork, the office will send them out these stipulations forms with instructions on getting them signed and notarized back to the office. So whoever's working with the office, whether it's you or your representative, the office will send them to that person
Okay, sounds good.
with the instruction. So
all right, thank you so much.
Thank you and good luck.
Right, thank you. Good night.
Okay, moving on to the last item. Number 13, Aesthetic Matters LLC at 235 Valley. If the applicant and or their attorney are here, please raise your hand. I see Max, will you promoted?
Reagan.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, it can.
Great.
Okay, we got Max and Reagan and
And Henry. Okay, that's the team.
Henry, there we go.
All right, we're ready when you are, Clint.
Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm going to. Summary up here. Okay, so you know the drill. We'll give you a quick summary and then over to the public. So, Aesthetic Matters LLC doing business as the new museum restaurant is seeking a full on-premise license for the premises located at 235 Bowery between Stinson and Brighton. It's an application for an establishment of 122 people, 31 tables, and 100 seats. One stand-up bar, 23 feet long with 12 seats. One TV serving classic dishes during all its operation. Ambient recorded and background music. There are 21 full on-premises licenses within 100 feet. This is a restaurant located inside the new museum. The applicant owns and manages 5 other restaurants in New York City since 2011. The Bowery Mission nearby submitted a letter in support of this application. 96 residents who live within 2 blocks of the location signed a petition in favor. They're proposing hours of 9 a.m. closing at 1 a.m. all days. They will not use outdoor space for commercial use. Closed facade. Ambient recorded music only. No live music DJs, promote events. No pub crawls or party buses. Will not have unlimited drink specials. Will not have happy hours. Will not have wait lines. And I think that is pretty much it. I will turn it over to you for anything you would like to add, change, correct.
Great. Yes. Thanks, Clint. Nice to see you, committee members. I'm Max Bookman. My law firm is Pizetsky and Bookman. I'm an attorney. With me is Henry Rich. He is the owner of the Oberon Group, which is the applicant tonight. Also with me is Reagan Gersey. She is a deputy director at the new museum. As you said, Clint, this is for the restaurant that's going to be opening within the new museum. It's a full on-premises license. Just a little bit of background. Everybody knows the new museum and what's going on, but just to bring everybody up to speed, they're nearing the end of a 60,000 square foot expansion into a new construction that they're building on a lot that they own next door to the existing building. When it's done, it's going to be a completely integrated experience, a larger experience for the museum and the guests, allows the museum to better fulfill its own mission, do better programming, arts, culture. The museum's been closed since March of 2024 in order to accommodate the final steps of the construction, and they're going to be opening later this year once the construction is complete. It'll be a new chapter in the museum's history, which has been a few decades long at this point. The restaurant is a core part of this new museum reopening. This is going to be the first time there's a full service restaurant within the new museum. It's going to be open all day, 3 meals a day. And it's going to be a real extension of the visitor experience. It's located right in the core of the museum on the ground level. They spent a lot of time, the new museum folks, looking for the right operator because it's so essential to their operation, so intertwined with their operation. They really wanted to find the right operator, aligned with their vision, and they found that with Henry and the Oberon Group. He and his team are incredibly experienced. They have several acclaimed restaurants in Brooklyn, Ricola, Rudora, June. By the way, all 3 of those restaurants that I just mentioned are in pre-war residential buildings. 2 of them are in brownstones with a residential tenant directly on the 2nd floor. So they are extremely experienced with operating carefully, respectfully. And this is also not their first museum operation. They opened a restaurant called Clara at the New York Historical Society on the Upper West Side. As I mentioned, the restaurant is intertwined with the museum's values. So the head chef, Julia Sherman, is an artist. She went to RISD in Rhode Island. They're going to be partnering with local artists to infuse art throughout the dining space. There's going to be an ongoing art curation program intertwined in the restaurant itself to bring the museum in to the restaurant to have a seamless experience. Cuisine is going to focus on sustainable, seasonal, healthy ingredients. It's new American food. They're aiming to have 0 waste. The environment's going to be warm, comforting, accessible to all. Clint, you mentioned the details. I just want to emphasize 3, all day operation, 9 to 1, 7 days a week, no outdoor space, recorded background music only. We're happy to answer any questions that you have.
So I do have just, and I noticed this earlier, and I just want to make sure I have the information correct. Is it a capacity of 122 people? Because the floor plan doesn't seem to show that at all.
Well, the floor plan we submitted shows the museum, shows the restaurant where it sits in the broader museum. And so the floor plan is somewhat zoomed out. You could see on the floor plan the museum lobby, and the bathrooms and the restaurant in the middle of that. But yes, the occupancy we gave you is correct.
But and so actually, maybe this is a better question. That floor plan that you show, that's not that section in the middle that looks like it's a seating. That's not just a seated. That's not a bar with like 12 seats around it, is it? Is that?
No. That's the restaurant.
Okay.
It's the front of house.
That's the full space. It just, when I first glanced at this, it did appear to be like that was one table, and I couldn't figure out how you were getting.
No. What you see there,
Right.
those little shapes that
Are
are banquettes, exactly.
Yeah. That's all. Okay, so I mean that was really just the one kind of clarifying thing I had to say. But actually, is anyone here from the public to speak to this? Sure, go ahead, Susan.
Just to confirm, so the only entrance and exit is on Bowery, is that correct?
No, there's 2 entrances and exits, one on Bowery and one on Freeman Alley.
But the second address wasn't posted at all. You know, when it was last time, there were a lot of people concerned about the Bowery, the Freeman entrance and exit, and I don't feel comfortable that it wasn't posted as
Well, I could speak to that, Susan. So the address of the premises is the Bowery address. This premises is located in the core of the museum. It doesn't have frontage on any street. So the address is the Bowery address because that's the main entrance to the museum. That's the address that patrons of the museum will be utilizing. And that's the address that we expect customers of the restaurant to be primarily utilizing. With that said, there is an entrance and exit on Freeman Alley as well. It's something that the local stakeholders who have concerns about the utilization of Freeman Alley are aware of. In fact, that's the reason why we had to put this meeting over last month, was because prior to the meeting, we heard from some of the folks, I don't know if they're here tonight, who had concerns about, wanted some clarifications about our utilization of Freeman Alley. So we spent the last month meeting them, engaging with them on our utilization of Freeman Alley. They had some questions, some requests that we accommodated. So we feel it's been well aired that there is an entrance and exit on Freeman Alley, although the main entrance is Bowery.
The requests were that you accommodated?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Susan.
Yeah.
And I asked, what requests did they have that you accommodated?
Yeah, sure. So they wanted to make sure, first of all, that we're not going to have what do you call it? Deliveries through vehicular traffic coming down Freeman Alley. So we emphasize that we're not planning to drive vehicles down Freeman Alley. Any refuse, anything that we use that exit for would be carted out to Rivington. There was a concern about the door itself and where it was placed. There was a concern that the door was too close to Freeman's restaurant, and so the museum that took a greater part of this month for the museum to go back, speak with their design team, because the request was to move the door, and at fairly considerable expense. And the museum found a way to move the door so that it is further away from the Freeman restaurant, and that moved door is incorporated into our plans.
Why? So there's two entrances and exits. Why did you need? I'm just curious. Why did you need one on Freeman?
Well, because primarily is because the restaurant is going to have broader operating hours than the museum
okay.
itself. And we
Got
can't have
it.
people traipsing through the lobby.
So when the museum's not open, will there be an entrance from Bowery, or when the museum's not open, will the only entrance and exit be from Freedom Valley?
The latter, Clint, and that's what we gave you we gave you an operating plan, and that's what we
Yes,
said in our
and that's
operating.
what so that's.
So the late night exit will be from Freeman, but there's nobody here.
Yeah.
Nobody's here objecting.
Yeah, no one.
We've been talking to you a lot, so.
Yeah, I knew that was why, part of the reason it was moved to this month, and oh, actually, wait, I do see, is there someone that does have their hand up now?
Yeah, there was some. Yeah, a couple folks.
Okay, so so we'll go ahead and move, sorry, I didn't see the hands before, we're gonna go ahead and move to the public to hear what they have to say, Ed Vincent?
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
And are you able to see me as well?
We don't see you, but.
Okay.
It's not a big deal, though, it's your.
Okay, my apologies on that. I can't figure out how to activate my video, but I will proceed. Good evening, everyone. My name is Edward Vincent. I'm a principal with Borchard and Laspina. I represent one of the owners along Freeman Alley, specifically C. James Wright, who is the owner of One Freeman Alley. His main concern is that during it, just as was indicated, when the museum is closed and the restaurant is only one that's open, the sole means of ingress and egress will be through Freeman Alley, and Freeman Alley is a private street, so that is in violation of the New York City Building Code, because that exit discharge is supposed to be into a public way, and Freeman Alley is not public, it is private. My client, along with the other occupants along Freeman Alley, have easement rights over that alley. It is supposed to be unobstructed and for the sole use of the right of way through and using the alley. Specifically, my client does not have another means of ingress and egress other than Freeman Alley, because he's on that property for a very long time, and the only ingress and egress for him is through Freeman Alley, unfortunately. So it's imperative that that foot traffic that's going to be increased as a result of using Freeman Alley as its only means of ingress, it's going to overburden that easement that he has, and it's going to violate the easement. But again, the main concern is that it's a violation of the New York City Building Code when the museum is not open. There is an entrance and exit into Bowery from the museum. They should either keep that door open or provide another means of ingress and egress from the Bowery for the restaurant.
Have you filed an objection already?
I emailed I emailed a letter to the board. Did you receive that on Friday?
I don't remember, to be honest. But have you filed an objection with the Department of Buildings?
I don't know that. I know my firm has not. If necessary, that's what we would do, but this is where we are right now.
That is the proper way, because we don't have that experience or that.
Well, my understanding, it's also a violation of the general state liquor law, right? You're expected to have ingress and egress into a public street rather than private.
I'm not aware of that in the SLA law, but what about Freeman? What about the restaurant at the end?
Freeman.
Yeah, what
So,
about?
but I have a question too, Ed, is. It was along the same thing though, but is everyone property that borders Freeman Alley party to that easement?
That's my understanding. I won't speak as to what exactly their easement rights say. I don't know that specifically, but that was my understanding. And I've submitted a memo saying that it is a private street. All I can say is what my client's rights are to that alleyway. And we've had various issues with some of the other occupants along Freeman Alley in the past, and we've asserted our easement rights, and that easement is in our land records. We have that right.
Just say that the two issues you're bringing up are not issues that we can speak to. We do not have expertise in those. You have to deal with the appropriate agency. But I'm also wondering why this has been an objection to the restaurant that's been there for years.
Well, my understanding is the restaurant's entrance and exit is through the Bowery, right? So, and
No.
I mean, sorry, that's the museum. Sorry, can you
Freeman's
say that
restaurant
again?
at the end of Freeman Alley.
It's it's in and out through Freeman Alley. And it's been there for years, and there's never been an objection or a problem.
I don't know that answer right now, whether it's grandfathered in or whether they have a liquor license or not. I'm happy to look into that, investigate that. All I can speak as to what's in front of me right now.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I think it sounds to me like there's no very specific knowledge of something that is wrong, and it has to be dealt with at those agencies.
Yeah.
They're not something we can speak to, and I will say that there's been a restaurant there for years with only entrance and exit through Freeman Alley.
I mean, just because they have easement rights, which means they have unobstructed access and use, but someone else on that alley, if they're party to that easement, they have the same rights to use it. And again, I'm not saying that as an expert opinion, but
It's accessible, it's totally
Yeah.
accessible for each resident.
so I think the point of it is that is beyond our purview here. If that is really an issue and you pursue that, that's something that can be addressed with either DOB or I guess in
Go to the
civil court.
SLA, we don't know, I'm not aware of anything in the SLA.
Yeah,
that say that, so you would have to deal with that. But Max would know if it said that.
I'm ready to speak when you are ready to have me speak.
But I think there was a couple other people, so we're gonna move on to
Okay.
the next person, which was Jimmy Wright.
Can you?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Freeman's is at the end of the restaurant, at the end of the alley. When they were granted the license, you gave them a very long stipulation of operation use, including a security guard that I think that those restrictions lasted something like 10 years. Freeman's has been the best neighbor on the alley. They are primarily responsible, their presence is primarily responsible for this being a safe alley for any pedestrian to walk into almost 24 hours a day. I just want to tell you, I'm the only person that lives on Freeman Alley. Every building on Freeman Alley, other than mine, has an entrance and exit on a mapped street. If I have a fire, this is my only fire lane. At my front door, the alley is only 9 feet wide. So you are adding traffic from 122 occupied restaurant. We have Untitled Hotel with a bar and restaurant, and their only entrance and exit that they are using is Freeman Alley. We have a new 17-story residential condo and rental building that's directly across from me. It too will be using Freeman Alley as an entrance. So,
I'm sorry, this has nothing to do with what our committee can talk about.
well, I only learned about this application when they originally applied in the last grouping. There was no communication with anyone on Freeman Alley by the new museum. Absolutely none. You say there's a public petition that was never circulated on Freeman Alley. Both Freeman's Restaurant, both Untitled Hotel, and me at One Freeman Alley only learned about this application a few weeks ago. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly.
Okay, anyone else? Okay.
I feel like that's a little beyond the easement rights of Freeman. It's a little beyond our jurisdiction. The expertise.
I'd like to speak to it when if we're done with the public.
There's
So, yeah, I think that was it, Max, if you want to go ahead and respond to what you just heard.
Yeah, sure. So I just want to be clear about the two people who just spoke. They're the same party. One was
Yeah.
James Wright and one was his lawyer. First of all, we're surprised to hear that he's here in opposition because when we met with him, having put this meeting over to meet with him, he told us that as long as we moved the door, which we agreed to do at considerable expense, he wouldn't be in opposition to our application tonight. So it's surprising to hear that he's here. I think the members of the committee have already picked up on this, but I would just like to underscore from the applicant's side that Freeman's Alley is not a private street. It's public. It's signed. I understand that Mr. Wright and his lawyer have a point of view on this. They're free to share that point of view with the agencies that actually have jurisdiction and expertise over this topic, but we vigorously disagree with that point of view. The new museum has spent years in diligence planning this museum, planning the points of ingress and egress. They've had a team, an army of specialists involved. The museum is confident that this egress onto Freeman's Alley is legal. I really didn't hear anything from Mr. Vincent other than his just unsupported point of view to the contrary. The State Liquor Authority doesn't have expertise over this issue. As Susan and Clint knows, the Liquor Authority has specifically disclaimed any expertise over these types of issues and have said, please do not use the liquor license application process as a platform to talk about local code enforcement concerns. So we don't think it's, we don't really think that there's much to consider there concerning his point, other than I wanted to register that we disagree with it. We did move the door, and that offer is still on the table, by the way. We're going to stick to having the door moved, which was something that he requested, even though we apparently haven't gotten the benefit of our bargain because it was in return for him not to oppose our application. But we're going to continue uphold our end of the deal and keep that door moved. Other than that, I think, what you've heard is on the actual issues that this committee does, focus on. What you've heard about tonight is a restaurant that is going to be an asset to the neighborhood, part of an important cultural institution, and it's reopening. And we think everybody in the neighborhood is going to be really excited about it, including the 96 residents who live in the vicinity who supported us with a petition.
I'll agree that it being a private easement really did stick out to me. I can't see it being private, privately owned. But can you guys speak to security, keeping folks out of the alley, keeping it clean, orderly, so that, folks like Mr. Wright can enjoy maybe the peace of mind that he's enjoyed with Freeman's over the years?
Absolutely. So first of all, I just want to emphasize that, the alley is going to only be the sole means of egress after the museum is closed. And so this is not like, it's the entire occupancy of the museum dumping out onto this alley. It's only for this small restaurant. And only at points when the museum is closed is it the sole means. The applicant, we've talked about this internally. We're happy to stipulate to having staffers whose responsibility is to monitor the alley, move people along, get people in and out of the alley so that they're not lingering. The new museum has been a member of this community for years. They've doubled down on their investment in this community. They're happy to be a part of this community, and being part of that is making sure that the alley is safe and orderly. And so we're happy to have, as a stipulation, staffers who are dedicated to ensuring that customers are not loitering and that they're moving to Rivington in an orderly manner.
Okay, I mean, that's the one thing that I heard.
Yeah.
That was something that falls under this application in my eyes.
Yeah.
And then Michael, Stephen, any comments or thoughts?
I think that's outside our purview.
Yeah.
The restaurant itself is something I could support because it's non-residential building.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think the restaurant itself, other than what they're saying, the access is.
What time is the museum closing? How many hours? It's like a matter of 3-4 hours. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I'm having, with the crosstalk, I'm having a hard time hearing it on the microphone. Is there
I
a
was
question
just
for me?
wondering, I was just wondering what time the new museum is going to close, so like. What, how many hours a week talking about the Freeman's?
Regan, is it 6 p.m.?
We close at 6 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday, and we're open late for Pay What You Wish on Thursday until 9 p.m.
So basically 6 to 1, most nights.
Yeah. And Freeman's has been, how long, like a long. Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah, I mean, if I could just emphasize something else, I think the method of operation that we're proposing speaks to the sort of the status of people as they're leaving the restaurant, because we are focused on, I mean, what's clearly going to be a restaurant operation. This is not a bar scene. You see that from the floor plans. You see that from the menu, the quality and caliber of the applicants. You see that from the fact that it's recorded background music only, no DJ, no dancing, no live music, no velvet ropes, and the fact that this restaurant is interior to the museum with no actual street frontage. I think all of those things add up to the point where, if we were applying for a bar, sometimes you hear legitimate concerns from folks about, okay, well, folks are going to be all, leaving the bar at whatever time they leave, inebriated and loud. These are restaurant patrons who are going to be leaving this restaurant. The reason we need the 1 a.m. is because even though this is going to be an accessible restaurant from a position of cuisine and price point, it's still going to be a restaurant that people sit down and spend some time at. So closing at 1 means, is what allows people to not, it's not a McDonald's. People are not just coming and going quickly. So I think all that adds up just to underscore that, an additional fact that the SLA and this community board do focus on, which is what is the method of operation and what do we think, how do we think that method of operation is going to impact people as they leave? And for this method of operation, all the factors point in favor of a subdued patronage that are leaving.
Okay. Previous closing by 11. Anyways, okay, so I think, is there you three, Michael, or you two, I mean, do you have any other than we'll discuss the security a little bit when we come back? Is there anything else? Application that. Okay, then I think at this point we'll go ahead and move to the stipulations. So it is I, Henry Rich, as a qualified representative of Aesthetic Matters LLC, located at 235 3. It will be a full liquor license operating a full service restaurant, specifically a modern American restaurant, with a kitchen open and serving food during all hours of operation. Hours of operation will be 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. all days. It will not use outdoor space for commercial use. So in this section, I do think, and I don't know if it's employing necessarily security or doorman.
Yeah, if I could just ask on that, the way the SLA interprets your stip number 5 there is that it's licensed New York State security guards, bouncers, which we won't have. If I could ask that if you're considering a stip for a staffer whose job it is to facilitate people coming and going, which we're happy to stipulate to, if we could have that as one of the additional stipulations at the bottom in your sort of blank one.
So, and I think, I will install sound. I mean, that's kind of irrelevant, I think, because it's a brand new space.
It's brand new construction, soundproofed already, and this has no street frontage. This is inside. This is a box inside of a box.
And then it's a closed facade because it's not on the street at all. You will not have DJs, live music, third party promote events, any event that you cover via charge or scheduled performances. We not recorded background music only. Coming to 3. Not forbidden pub crawl party buses, no drink specials. You will have a happy hour that will end by 6 p.m. Will not have wait lines. Will have a staff responsible for ensuring there are no noise or crowds outside. We'll post these stipulations and make the number below. And I think we are going to add for number 18. We're going to add, just as an elaboration on item number 15, we're going to say have designate staff to ensure Freeman's Alley is kept
orderly.
Orderly and clear,
Yeah.
is that?
Just in case it's a hot restaurant.
And there's, because, and especially the thing is, that's the other thing, I think what would really be a problem is if there's a line there.
Yeah,
If
so
this-
yes, so no outdoor wait lines.
Yeah.
We have the full capacity. I mean, it's a restaurant anyway, there's not gonna be like wait lines, but just in case everybody's worried about that, we have the ability inside the museum to have anybody who's waiting.
Are you gonna be doing reservations or no reservations?
Henry, I don't know the answer to that. What's the answer? Are we having reservations?
Both. We're gonna have walk-ins every night. We do that at all our restaurants. Yeah.
But I think it does need to be, I think that would be a problem specifically for if there's a line going down Freeman Alley. So I think that.
We could very clearly and expressly stipulate that there will be no lines at any
So there
time.
will be,
on
there cannot
Freeman's
be,
Alley.
not just for, I mean, it'd be for, because people that live along there, I know there's one person that only has access, but I think there are other windows there, plus Freeman's Restaurant, so just so that we're clear on that, and I know you're agreeing to that.
The box.
Absolutely.
Just gotta watch it on those
So-
contemporary art paintings.
Exactly. Okay.
The box is art too.
It's its own art. Okay, so everything, I mean, you're fine with everything as it stands?
Yes.
Okay, that being said, we're gonna go ahead and move to a vote. Stephen Ballinger,
Yes.
Clint Stelter, yes. Michael Lavario. Okay, motion passes. We'll be sending out the stipulations, you know the drill. And we'll go from there. And, you know, just as an aside, if the residents are still there, if there's that legal issue that's between you and them for whatever the easements and access may be, but I think that's out of our purview. We don't have anything to say about that. Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank
Thank
you.
you, guys.
Thank you
Great.
very much.
One
Good
thing,
night.
if anyone's still on the meeting from the public, we do have a meeting next Tuesday. I'm sorry, next Wednesday.
You're done with us, right?
Yeah, you can go, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Next Wednesday, we have a meeting, it's for members here and anyone from the public that is still here, we have a meeting next Wednesday night here. It's an SLA committee meeting to discuss our SLA committee guidance, both for us and what we give out to the public in draft. So it should not be any kind of long, difficult meeting, but I think if you are interested in this at all, it might be worthwhile. Okay, that being said, we're gonna move to a roll call vote to adjourn. Stephen Ballinger,
Yes.
Mike Clint Smelter.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you
Yes.
got me something.
Yes, and Michael Lavario.
Yes.
Sandy Lay, absent. Megan Joy, absent, and Guillermo Zabuka. Okay, meeting.